hear that? These are the everyday sounds in our lives. And surprisingly, they're also the sounds of carbon trading in action. What do I mean by that? Welcome to the second episode of our carbon trading series, The Power of Action. I'm Yishun. Today, we take you right into the heart of China's carbon trading market and explore how the country's policymakers, businesses, universities, and even ordinary citizens turn ideas into impactful actions. The journey of China's carbon trading market began back in 2011 with experimental pilot projects in 7 regions. They were Beijing and Tianjin in northern China, Shanghai in eastern China, Chongqing in southwestern China, Hubei province in central China, Guangdong province and the city of Shenzhen in southern China. Fast forward to 2021, China Carbon Emissions Trading Exchange, or the carbon trading market, went live officially, a milestone that marked a new era. Just as a dedicated gardener transforms barren land into a flourishing forest, China has since built a complex system that includes carbon emission accounting, quota allocation, and a dynamic trading mechanism. According to the Ministry of Ecology and Environment, as of the end of 2024, the completion status of quota settlements has improved significantly. The total quota required for settlement in 2023 was over 5 billion tons, with a completion rate of approximately 99.98%. In March 2025, China's Minister of Ecology and Environment provided an update on the status of the carbon trading market during the annual meeting of the country's top legislature.
菜市场的配额交易规模这些年都在持续扩大，交易价格也在稳中有升。
The trading scale of the national carbon emissions trading market has continued to expand, and transaction prices have remained stable with an upward trend. Through this market, China's electricity carbon emission intensity has decreased by 8.78% cumulatively.
为企业节约降碳成本是350个亿。
We have also expanded the coverage of the national carbon emission trading market and launched the National Voluntary Greenhouse Gas Emission Reduction Trading Market. This has been a powerful driver in achieving synergy between pollution control and carbon reduction.
As the market continues to be refined, more industries are being incorporated into this mechanism. The Ministry of Ecology and Environment released a work plan in early 2025 to expand the carbon trading market to include steel, cement, and aluminum smelting industries, marking the first industrial expansion since the market's launch in 2021. The 3 sectors are responsible for over 20% of the country's total carbon dioxide emissions. The expansion is expected to add 1,500 enterprises to the carbon trading market. In practice, however, a question arises. What if a company, driven by maximizing its profit, disregards carbon quotas altogether? What if it simply keeps buying more quotas, perpetuating a cycle where it continues emitting at a high level? Shu Liangsuo, head of carbon trading department of Hubei Carbon Emission Exchange, explained to me that the carbon trading market mechanism is not merely to impose restrictions.
这就是市场的它的价值所在，就是它如果一家企业它在核算它的成本后，
This is the very essence of the market. If a company, after calculating its costs, finds that it can afford to emit more and is willing to pay for it, then it will do so. But at the same time, there must be sellers, right? The sellers are those who have achieved surplus emission reductions through energy-saving modifications. So, while one company may increase its emissions because its business is thriving, another company reduces its emissions. In the end, the total emissions are still under control. The market exists based on scientific reasoning. Regardless of which company is emitting a ton of CO2, the impact on global warming is the same. The key is to regulate total emissions instead of focusing on individual enterprises.
The creation of the mechanism is not simply about restricting enterprises, nor does it aim to impose one-size-fits-all regulations.
碳市场基本原理就是讲究法律，它让这些做得好的可以从碳市场里获得盈余。
Our carbon market follows a basic principle, rewarding efficiency and penalizing inefficiency. Companies that perform well generate surplus allowances to sell, while those that underperform have to bear additional costs.
另一方面呢，也要适度的去控制那个力度，不然的话，这些企业它就会影响它的生存发展。
However, carbon reduction must be promoted actively yet cautiously. On the one hand, we must push forward. On the other hand, we need to regulate the intensity appropriately. If the restrictions are too severe, business may struggle to survive. That's why we consider the unique circumstances of different industries and apply tailored approaches accordingly.
No great movement can thrive without fresh talent. Universities across China have stepped up by creating specialized programs and even entire colleges focused on low carbon and green economy education. According to the official website of China's Ministry of Education, over 10 new undergraduate programs have been approved in recent years, including energy storage science and engineering, new energy vehicles and engineering, and smart energy engineering. As of 2022, there are 21 undergraduate programs nationwide directly related to the fields of carbon peak and carbon neutrality. The programs are offered by more than 2,000 educational institutions. At Hubei University of Economics, the School of Low Carbon Economics serves as a prime example of the educational push, standing as a beacon for students eager to delve into areas like energy efficiency, environmental policy, and low-carbon technology. Professor Yan Fei, dean of the school, shared with me his insights on their students' career paths.
我们这个低碳经济学院的学生毕业以后呢，他的就业相对来说比较广泛一点。
Our graduates have relatively broad career prospects. Many of them join enterprises and public institutions, working in industries such as energy, environmental protection, and manufacturing, where they engage in the research, application, and promotion of low-carbon technologies. Additionally, some graduates enter government departments, taking on roles in environmental and energy-related agencies, where they contribute to policy making, regulation, and enforcement. Others pursue further studies and join research institutions or universities, focusing on low-carbon economics, climate change, and related fields. A smaller number of students find opportunities in international organizations and NGOs, engaging in international cooperation and exchanges related to low-carbon development. Since the introduction of the National Dual Carbon Strategy, the demand for talent in this field has surged.
But learning about sustainability is just the beginning. The real test comes when these ideas are put into action. Now, let's move from academia to the business world, where companies are shifting from passive compliance to active profit-making through carbon trading. For a long time, many companies saw carbon trading as just another compliance hassle. Today, however, big players are changing their perspective. Take Huaxing Cement, a domestic cement manufacturing company, for example. Production manager Xu Gang explained how his company has embraced innovation by using municipal waste as alternative fuel.
我们采用的是第二代智能化的那个人工控制。 We have adopted a second-generation intelligent production line, extensively using municipal waste and alternative fuels. Every year, we process up to 900,000 tons of household waste, helping to address urban waste management issues while significantly reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. Additionally, we handle 150,000 tons of industrial waste annually and comprehensively utilize residual materials from other industrial processes, such as tailings from copper and iron production, incorporating over 100,000 tons per year into our operation.
How much is 900,000 tons of waste? To put it in perspective, the daily household waste generation in Beijing in 2023, as reported by the city, was around 20,000 tons. So 900,000 tons is roughly the amount of waste produced in the mega city in 1.5 months. This approach is not unique to this facility. Many companies are leveraging similar methods to reduce carbon emissions. Yang Tao, Deputy Director of Biomass Operation Department at Hubei Huadian Xiangyang Power Generation Corporation, explained how they use biomass materials such as straws, tree bark, and peanut shells to generate electricity.
The biomass fuel is fed into the gasification furnace via a belt conveyor, where it produces combustible gases such as carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and methane. These gases are then transported through pipelines to the coal-fired boiler, where they mix with coal for coal firing, enabling integrated biomass and coal power generation. On one hand, coal-firing biomass helps reduce coal consumption. On the other hand, we can obtain carbon credits, further supporting our emission reduction efforts.
Yes, you heard that right. Everyday household waste, discarded materials, and crop stocks can all be turned into wealth. What was once seen as a burdensome cost is now an opportunity for technological upgrade and financial gain, proving that sustainability and profitability can indeed go hand in hand. But what about you and me? While corporations trading tons of emissions, individual actions might seem like just a drop in the bucket. Yet, collective small steps can spark a major change. In this regard, low carbon behavior points may be the most accessible method. Through initiatives like the Carbon Inclusion Mechanism, we, as citizens, can accumulate carbon points or carbon coins through low carbon actions such as riding a bike or turning off unused lights. These points can be used to redeem goods, services, or participate in carbon offset projects. For example, tech giant Alibaba's Ant Forest records its users' low carbon behaviors and converts them into green energy, which is used for public welfare projects such as tree planting. In addition, if you have sufficient professional financial knowledge, you can participate directly in the carbon trading market by opening an account for trading, investing in carbon funds, or participating in carbon sink projects. But of course, compared to the emissions of large enterprises measured in tons, emissions from small and medium-sized enterprises and individuals are still minimal. I can't help but ask, why spend so much effort trying to change the behavior of each individual? Liu Shu, founder of Wuhan Low Carbon Universe, a carbon inclusion mini program, explained.
其实有一个数据调查是中科院出的，就是中国53%的排放。
A survey conducted by the Chinese Academy of Sciences reveals that 53% of emissions in China are caused by people's consumption habits. What we'd like to do is to gradually change the general public's mindset and consumption behaviors, forcing the production side to adopt energy-saving reforms and upgrades. By connecting people and industry, we can achieve the ultimate goal.
Imagine earning points for simple actions. points that might someday help offset your carbon footprint, or even be exchanged for rewards. It's like turning your daily commute into a fun, habit-forming game that helps save the planet. Do you still remember the sounds from the start of the show? They remind us that carbon trading is quietly at work all around us, driving China closer to its ambitious dual carbon goals. From national policies and corporate innovations to university initiatives and personal eco-friendly choices, our carbon trading market is steadily gaining momentum. Every individual, every enterprise, and every institution plays a role in achieving carbon peak and carbon neutrality. Our journey is far from over. Challenges remain, so does hope and determination. Stay tuned for our next episode to explore the hurdles that lie ahead on this transformative path. Thank you for being with me. Until next time, keep listening, keep acting, and let's build a greener future together.